So what full coverage in Florida means, I think, to most lay people who aren't lawyers, who don't study the law or know much about it, full coverage is only what Florida law actually requires. What's the basic coverage that you're required to purchase according to the law in Florida? And what people will come to find out is it's not very much at all. There are only two types of coverage that are technically required by law in Florida. One being no-fault insurance, which a lot of people have heard about but don't truly understand, I think. And the other is property damage liability. So as long as you have an automobile policy in Florida, you are required by law to carry that type of coverage. Everything else is optional. And what a lot of people, I don't think, understand is that the types of coverage that exist beyond what's required is quite voluminous. There's a lot that you can purchase on top of what's required by law. So to have full coverage in Florida simply means that you are complying with what Florida law requires. The optional coverages, which are usually the more important coverages in Florida, are really what matter. For instance, one of the most crucial types of coverage that you can purchase is what they call uninsured or underinsured motorist. It's UM for short. And what that coverage does is if you're injured by someone else's negligence, if that person who caused the injuries does not have the right type of coverage to provide for your injuries, you're gonna need to fall back on your own UM coverage. If the person who hits you, who's at fault, does not have coverage and you don't have any UM coverage on your own policy, then you're not gonna have a case. And remarkably enough, as hard as it is to believe, there really aren't any lawyers in the state of Florida that are going to be able to help you. The only exception would be if someone like Michael Jordan hit you. Everybody knows who Michael Jordan is. He has assets as long as the day is. So you could actually sue Michael Jordan in an instance like that for personal assets because we know that he has them. The reality is that your average Joe is not Michael Jordan. Your average Joe lives paycheck to paycheck. They rent a house or they have a homestead exemption on their house. And they don't really have much in the way of assets to actually take to help compensate you for the injuries that you've sustained. So the point is that if you don't have insurance, or more particularly the right types of coverage in your insurance policy, you're not going to have a case regardless of how extensive the damages may be.